Right in the quiet void of space, memory is the first thing to fade. Civilizations rise, burn brightly, and collapse into dust. Names are forgotten, monuments crumble, and even stars grow cold. But some things are not lost. Some things are merely waiting. The Guardian had waited. Buried in the heart of Earth's moon, its form sealed behind layers of stone and alloy, it had slumbered for tens of millennia. Humanity itself had forgotten it. Those who built it left no records, only myths of a god who watched the skies. Across the galaxy, other races whispered fragments of the tale, a sentinel too dangerous to awaken, a weapon too powerful to be allowed to exist. The Galactic Council even classified Sol as a quiet sector, not because it was safe, but because something deep in their ancient records warned them never to interfere. Yet empires are arrogant, and time erodes caution. When the Veilborn came, the beings of shadow and hunger, the Council panicked. Worlds fell in silence, entire fleets swallowed as though space itself had devoured them. The Veilborn spread like infection, their ships more shadow than matter, their weapons not of fire or metal but of void. No treaty, no fleet, no plea could halt them. Then so, desperate for survival, the Council betrayed its oldest warning. They sent their fleets into Sol. The first human colonies screamed in defiance. Though scattered across the stars, humanity had never forgiven the Council for centuries of exploitation and subjugation. But when the Veilborn struck Earth itself, when shadows swallowed oceans and cities like waves, resistance became irrelevant. Humanity was dying, its homeworld lost. That was when the Guardian stirred. It began with tremors beneath the lunar surface. Seismographs erupted with readings that no scientists could explain. Then came the light silver beams piercing from craters, cracks forming across the barren moon. The Council fleets stationed nearby tried to interfere, firing plasma rounds into the fissures, but the effort was pointless. The moon split open. From its hollow core, the Guardian rose. It was a colossus beyond imagining, its body forged of alloys that bent starlight, its eyes burning with the cold fire of a newborn sun. Wings of radiant energy unfurled behind it, wide enough to eclipse entire fleets. It carried no weapons in its hands, for its very body was a weapon. The Guardian stretched as though waking from a long dream, and then turned its gaze toward the shadow ships descending upon Earth. The galaxy held its breath. The Guardian moved. Its first strike was a ripple of pure force, invisible yet absolute. Thousands of Veilborn vessels disintegrated at once, erased from existence. Where once their shadow spread, only emptiness remained. The survivors recoiled, their strange forms writhing as if in pain. For the first time since their appearance, the Veilborn hesitated, and humanity saw hope. The scattered fleets of Earth's colonies, ragged and divided, they followed the Guardian's wake, firing railguns, plasma batteries, missiles, anything that could matter. The battle turned from annihilation to defiance. Humans fought as one, united not by the Council, not by treaties, but by the Guardian who rose from their moon to defend them. But shadows are patient. The Veilborn adapted. They swarmed the Guardian, thousands of ships forming living chains that wrapped around its radiant frame. They sought to suffocate its light, to drag it back into dormancy. For hours it vanished beneath waves of darkness. Humanity screamed across comm channels, their fleets shattering as they tried to reach it. And then the Guardian roared. A soundless cry tore across the system. Its wings of energy flared, brighter than Sol itself, ripping the shadow fleet apart. Fragments of void scattered into the stars, each burning like dying embers. Yet, victory was not simple. The Veilborn were endless, their numbers too great, even for a godmish. For every swarm destroyed, another emerged from the void beyond Saturn. The battle raged for days. Earth burned, colonies fell, Council fleets abandoned their posts, retreating to preserve their own worlds. Humanity stood alone with its Guardian, bleeding and breaking but never surrendering. And then came the revelation. The Guardian was not simply a weapon, it was a seal. Its awakening had not only saved humanity, it had weakened the chains that bound something far older. Each surge of its power tore the prison wider. The Council had feared the Guardian not because it was dangerous, but because of what it was designed to contain. That the true darkness, the Veilborn were not invaders, they were heralds. Fragments, whispers of the thing chained within the void of space, buried when the first civilizations dared to fight it. And now, with the Guardian's awakening, those chains were snapping. On the 10th day, the stars dimmed. Something vast stirred at the edge of perception. The galaxy trembled as though space itself recoiled. Every race, every empire, every Council world felt it. The awakening of the darkness. The Guardian stood in orbit over Earth, its frame cracked and dimming, its light flickering. Humanity's fleets were scattered wrecks. And yet, even broken, the Guardian raised its head toward the abyss because it had one purpose. One oath. To stand between humanity and the night. The final battle began not with weapons, but with silence. A wave of shadow consumed the system, swallowing light, crushing hope. Only the Guardian's wings burned against it, a fragile spark holding back infinity. Humanity rallied behind it, not because they believed they could win, but because they refused to die on their knees. The Guardian's last strike tore across the stars, A flare of impossible brilliance carved open the void, casting back the shadows long enough for Earth's survivors to escape. The darkness screamed a sound that shattered planets, that turned entire fleets to dust, but it was wounded. It would retreat, for now. When the light faded, the Guardian was gone. Only fragments of its body remained, drifting silently through the void. But its sacrifice had bought humanity time. Time to rebuild. Time to unite. Time to prepare for the day the darkness would return. And so, a legend spread, across colonies, across fractured factions, across council worlds that had once scorned them. The story echoed. The sleeping Guardian had risen, the shadows had spread, and humanity had not fallen, not yet.